Good morning, my dear students. Today I am going to explain the story The Enemy. This story, The Enemy, is I think written during the World War, and this story is based on the impact of World War II. In World War II, Japan and America were fighting, and so both America and Japan were enemy of each other. So what happens in this story? One American soldier washed ashore in a Japanese coast seashore, and there one doctor saved him, uh, and then he was under the dilemma that what should I do? Should I save him as a doctor, okay, or I should hand him over to the police as a patriot? So this is the dilemma of this story. So I am not going to tell you the whole story, okay, the or before the reading of the whole, because it will lost its interest. So you will see, okay, after reading what happens is actually, okay, which one is better, uh, the uh, the sense of professionalism, okay, or the sense of patriotism. What is actually at the end, humanism won, but according to you, you will decide what will you do in the situation, and if you are stuck in such a circumstances. So indirectly the narrator has said, okay, Pearl S. Buck is the writer, and she has given explanation about humanism is far better than anything else, okay, in this world. So without delay, I'm just reading the text, you please see, and the needful explanation I will give you. Dr. Sadao Hockey, this is the name of Dr. Sadao, a Japanese surgeon, uh, by profession a doctor. This is their name, Sadao Hockey. So this is very much important for explain that the Japanese are very much patriotic. You see, after World War II, Japan was not allowed to keep his army, keep his navy, keep his air force. It was banned by the America, and it was a treaty. Those who have read history, they are familiar with this. That after World War II, when Japan was surrendered before America, when America dropped, atom bomb of the two biggest city of Japan, the Nagasaki and one more city is there, Hiroshima and Nagasaki. So this is the part of history that he wanted to be a powerful, okay, ruler in Asian country, and America did not like that. So he dropped atom bomb and destroyed Japan completely, and then Japan surrendered, and there was a treaty made on that time that after this Japan will no longer keep his army, navy, and air force. So when any country will attack on Japan, it is America, okay, who will just save, or he will fight from Japan. This was the terms and condition they set. Same case with we have, okay, India. uh, One country is there beside the Tibet. One Asian country, I think it is Bhutan. Yes, Bhutan is the neighbor of India, and it does not have its own army. Whenever anyone is attacking on Bhutan, this is the responsibility of India to just save it. Before that, it was Nepal also, okay, under the control of India. And if anyone is attacking Nepal, it is India who is going to save. Means the role and responsibility of India is to just save the Bhutanese or the Bhutan country or the Nepalese. But now Nepal has formed its own army, and now it is totally dependent on its own. Same Bhutan is the country, okay, that is all its means it does not have its own army or air force or navy. So whenever a country is attacking, it is India who is going to save Bhutan from the enemy. Same case is there with uh, Japan. Japan does not have its army. Initially it was, but under the treaty, okay, between America and Japan, Japan was not allowed to just keep its army, and because of its deadly things. So these are the backgrounds. I will just give you explanation one by one. Hockey's house was built on a spot of the Japanese coast where as a little boy he had often played. Most of the Japanese, okay, used to live, okay, near the coast side. And their houses are, you know that Japan is a very a small island, okay, and beside that it contains so many small islands, more than 1000 islands we have. One more Asian country we have Maldives and Andaman Nicobar Samu, Lakshadweep. These are the part of India, except Maldives. So they have a small island. Similarly, Japan has one big island, and beside the big island, they have a small island of 1 kilometer or very small. Uh, so his house, Mr. Dr. Sadao's hockey's house was near the coast of the seashore. Uh, so this was his childhood time. The low square stone house was set upon the rocks well above a narrow beach that was outlined with bent pines. This is the tree. The narrator is talking about the beauty and the nice scene of the sea beach, okay, and the structure of the building. Now, see, according to the statics, Japanese are very devoted, most loyal, and most patriotic uh, people of the world. After World War II, the army was not allowed. So all the army personnel, okay, all the army soldiers, army men, they started develop themselves. They engage themselves, okay, in business. And you know very well that Japan is the third, yeah, I think second largest economy of the world. Next to is I think America, China, Japan is the third. So they have big manufacturing hub, and uh, they are very patriotic. So we'll see how they are patriotic and what is the level of their patriotism. uh, as a boy, Sadao had climbed the pines supporting himself, just like a kind of tree. In our case is just like a coconut tree or palm tree. So supporting himself on his bare feet, as he had seen men do in the South Sea when they climbed for coconuts. His father had taken him often to the island of those seas, and never had he failed to say to the little brave boy at his side. Means the Japanese just start motivating, encouraging, okay, inspiring since their childhood, okay, of their son and daughters. And because of that, the morality of the Japanese are very high. They are very moral people, okay, very good people, and because of they are the most law abiding people of the world. So many things are there about Japan. You can see on YouTube the merits and demerits of Japanese. The education system, they have different, okay, uh, the industry setup. Japan does not have any natural resources. Their main occupation is fishing. So think about that, how they are the largest economies, okay, and next only to China and America. I think they are the third largest, okay, uh, manufacturing hub of the world. Those islands yonder, they are the stepping stones to the future for Japan. Since actually the when you'll go through the history, you'll come to know that since 18th century or till 18th century, Japan has not mixed up itself with any culture, any tradition. It was completely a separated country. When They started fighting, okay, with China and defeated them. Even they defeated Russia. Even they wanted to keep all the Asian country in their clutch, like Myanmar, Singapore, and Vietnam, and many other. So that time they came to know by the uh, on that time powerful country like UK and USA, okay, that the Japanese are very strong nation, and and they can defeat anybody. So on that time they had different mindset, but now they are changed, okay. uh, and now they are changed, and they are the most loyal, devoted, and punctual, I think most punctual, okay, citizen of their country. And even the punctuality level is they very high. I had read one article, okay, in Times of India or in the Hindu newspaper, that uh, trains do not late for 5 or 6 seconds. If they are late for 10 seconds, they will have to report that why it was late. So you think about that. They are very punctual also. So many things are there about their merits. Why I am telling you all these things? Because this is the background by which we can understand for a human being what is good and what is bad. The sense of professionalism, or a sense of patriotism. So he is just indicating the seashore, just like we can, in our case it was the Chennai or Mumbai or Goa, the coastal area where we keep our navy in order to just save ourselves from the enemy. So in generally we are fighting, generally we fight with Pakistan and the China, our great Himalaya, okay, the Lord Shiva is saving us, okay. So from China, if Himalaya was not there, I think half of the India might be captured and clutched by the ambitious Chinese people. So it was the Himalaya, the 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 sitting or resting place of Lord Shiva, who is saving India from the attack from China. So it was generally, we generally fight with this country, I think Pakistan, and this is our enemy according to history, but God knows who is the enemy and what is that. So China and India fought in, I think, 1962, and China very easily defeated India. And many battle have taken place between India and Pakistan, and every time it is India who has defeated Pakistan, and we have never fought any war against any other major country. Till World War II, we were under the British Army or British India, so we were fighting under the instruction of uh, Britishers. So after World War II, we have also fought so many wars, okay. After independence in 1947, we fought with China, and then again with in 1970 it was Pakistan, again in 1990. Some battles we have fought, and some little tussle we have, okay, with Sri Lanka in the era of 1990. And no more enemy we have. Generally we think that our enemy is Pakistan. This is our mindset. And Chinese also our enemy, because they have fought us with us. So same case is there with Japan and America, that once they were fighting and they were both enemy. So you see what happens next. So the child was asking, those islands yonder, means a small island. This story contains many references. If I will give you so many references, like China, South Sea. In South Sea, China has prepared an island, okay, and there they are keeping. They are preparing. I think they have prepared an artificial island, and they on the at that place they are keeping their navy forces, okay, so that they could defend themselves from the attack, or attack from America or from any other countries. Just think in World War II, the temperament and the mood of the Japanese people is similar to today's China. Okay, very ambitious and very, you know, power showing country. So see, the child is telling, where shall we step from them, Sadao? He asked seriously. Who knows? His father had answered. Who can limit our future? It depends on what we make it. Japanese are also very hard-working people. They always think about their country. Sadao had taken this into in his mind, and as he did everything his father, who never joked or played with him, but who spent infinite pains upon him, who was his only son. Japan was the only son of his father, and his father was also a very loyal and devoted and dedicated man, and he was very much serious. Okay, while talking to his son, Sadao knew that his education was his father's chief concern, and since childhood, okay, the doctor, the surgeon, okay, as a child realized that education is very much important, okay, according to point of view of his father. This was the thought. For this reason, he had been sent uh, at 22 to America to learn all that could be learned of surgery and medicine. And he was sent, okay, in America to learn medicine, do MBBS and MS there. He had come back at 30, okay, after completing his education. And before his father died, he had seen Sadao become famous not only as a surgeon but as a scientist. So now, after 8 years of, okay, his a study in America, Dr. Sadao Hockey became a very famous surgeon and a great scientist, because he was perfecting a discovery which would render wounds entirely clean. Means whatever a scar marks was there, okay, because of the wound, he can just bring back the skin. This was the discovery he had done. He had not been sent abroad. He had not been sent abroad with the troops. Also, he knew there was some slight, okay, danger that the old general might need an operation for a condition for which he was now being treated medically, and for his possibility, Sada was being kept in Japan. This may be a question that why Dr. Sada was kept in Japan, why not he was sent with the troops. We have army, okay, and their doctors are also there, nurses are also there. We have navy and air force, so there is a department of medical science also there. So being a famous surgeon, okay, Dr. Sadao Hockey was not sent with the troops, means the army. Why? Because he was a famous doctor, at the same time he was a scientist, famous scientist, and the general of Japanese army was having some problem, okay, and it was Dr. Sadao Hockey who was operating the general. So because of his skill, Dr. Sada was not sent anywhere. So this shows that he was a well renowned doctor by profession. Clouds were rising from the ocean now. The unexpected warmth of the past few days had at night drawn heavy fog from the cold waves. Sada watched mist. Means now Dr. Sada was standing near his house, just thinking all these things, and he was watching to a view, okay, a landscape or the scenery or the waves of the sea, and he was lost in that. Sada watched the mist hide outlines of a little island near the shore and come creeping up the beach below the house. And he could see that one kind of cloud is coming creeping. And some faint images he could see from there. In a few minutes, fog would be wrapped about the house too. Means just like in the month of January, we can see that how the atmosphere, okay, suddenly changed and completely become foggy, from clean to foggy. Then he would go into the room, okay, where Hannah is the wife, his wife, would be waiting for him with the two children. But at this moment, the door opened, okay, and she looked out. A dark blue woolen Haori. This is their clothes. You might have seen this kind of clothes in movie. So just like in our case, it is dhoti kurta, our traditional clothes, okay, and sari. They have a kind of cloth, okay, woolen Haori over his kimonos. This was his kimono, is just like a overcoat. She came to him, okay, affectionately and put her arm through his as he stood, smiled and said nothing. He had met Hannah in America, but he had waited to fall in love with her until he was sure she was a Japanese. This shows his a level of devotion, level of height of dedication towards his academics. At the same time, his caste, class, everything. His father would never have received her unless he had been pure in her race. Pure means he was not mixed. He were just like the Indians. our जूता है जापानी, ये पतलून इंग्लिस्तानी, सर पे लाल टोपी, रूसी फिर भी दिल है हिंदुस्तान. This shows the hybrid nature of Indians. When Lord Macaulay introduced English in India, he said that we wanted to create Indians who may appear just like Indian, but in thought they may be English. हमें ऐसे भारतीयों का निर्माण करना है जो रक्त और रंग में भारतीय हो लेकिन सोच और विद्वता में अंग्रेज हो. दिस वाज द स्टेटमेंट व्हेन ही फर्स्ट बिकेम द एजुकेशन एडवाइजर ऑफ लॉर्ड हेस्टिंग और on the governor general of West Bengal presidency. So this was his statement. so so we were mixed, okay, from since then, and even today we are very diverse country, and although we are living in India, but we have different religion, different castes, different kids, okay, different cultures, different traditions. So it is very unique country, okay, and obviously it is very good for us also, for its health, for its development, for its upliftment, and that is our ethos. I am telling you one story, okay, one incident took place in the life of the second Prime Minister of India, Lal Bahadur Shastri. After Nehru, Lal Bahadur Shastri became the Prime Minister, and he went in America, I think, and the interviewer asking so many questions that how you rule Indians. They are very strange, very unique, okay. They have in different colors, they have different religion, they have different food habit, they have different attire. So you will see our diversity is our ethos, our strength. So very remarkable reply was given by Lal Bahadur Shastri, uh, that donkeys are of similar appearance and similar sound refers to your language, but the horses are of different colors. So this was a very witty remark by Lal Bahadur Shastri to an American journalist. It was published in Times of India. I have read this. So his father, and by what luck he had found her in the most casual way, by chance, literally at an American professor's house. Means they had met that place, okay, where he was getting tuition or tutored. The professor and his wife had mind, okay, people anxious to do something for their few foreign students. They were very helping. Now same case is here now in the modern India and modern world. Now the Iranian, although America has banned Iran with his currency or something, and because of that the currency of Iran is not good. Okay, I think one Indian rupee is similar to more than 300 or 400 Iranian currency. But the Iranians are just migrating from Iran and just they are settling in America, and they are earning, and they are also migrating China, Japan, and working. Similar case with India. We Indians are just moving Singapore after becoming engineer, after becoming doctor, after becoming professor, and after becoming so many skilled uh, professionals that the world demands. So similar with the case of with that, those who wanted to become great scientists, mm, successful doctors, they are moving America and UK, and even China. Some of our students are moving in China, Japan, and Italy. So and many other countries is also coming in India in order to get education. for Hindi and Sanskrit. Initially, they were coming Russian and Americans, but now they have opened their own university and initiated the Department of Sanskrit and Hindi. So it was the glorious time for Banaras Hindu University, Delhi University, JNU, Aligarh Muslim University. Many students from Pakistan, Bangladesh, Myanmar, Singapore, Iran, Afghanistan, Sri Lanka used to come in India and get education. Even the Africans are also were coming in a large number, but now it has been reduced due to some political system or some disturbance in our society. uh, the Delhi incident, okay, of Nirbhaya and some rape incident that was rampant, okay, and because of that, the American issued, okay, a notice that don't go India for a study. Similar with the case with Russia, similar with the case of Iranian, okay. The Bangladeshis are very few coming, okay. The Bangladeshi even used to come in Patna University in our department when I was the student of Patna University in MA. And they were in Bangla department, in Hindi department, in Sanskrit department. Bangladeshi were also there. So this is the cultural development. So our students who are just passing their CBSE and ICSE 10th and 12th, and they are giving their TOEFL, and then they're moving in America and Canada, Australia for their better upliftment, for the better courses, okay, for the better opportunity, for the better academics. So same case was there with uh, Dr. Sadao Hockey. His father was very much concerned about his education, so that's why he sent Dr. Sadao, or the young Sadao, at the age of 20 to just move in America and be a good surgeon, a good doctor. And the students thought bored, okay, and accepted this kindness. Sadao had often told Hannah how nearly he had, okay, not gone to Professor Harley house. This was the name of the professor. That night, the room. This is the definition they have written here. How a loose outer garments worn over the kimonos. It is a kind of cloth. Were so small, the food so bad. Okay, the professor's wife so valuable. Valuable is very talkative. Means he was just nostalgic about his past life, where he was thinking that how he met Hannah. Okay, if he had not gone to the professor house, okay, he would not have met with Hannah. And he is just thinking about the poor quality of food and the poor quality of the talking style of the professor's wife. But he had gone, and there he had found Hannah, a new student, and had felt he would love, okay, her if it were at all possible. And finally he fell in love with Hannah, and finally engaged and got married. So this is all about this story, okay. You will read this story, and this story contains many references and many things to understand, but our main focus is to just understand which one is better, patriotism or professionalism, according to you. But finally we'll just contrast with patriotism and humanism, the human rights of world. We cannot corporal punishment. Now the CBSE also has introduced don't threat anyone, don't chide anyone, don't thrash anyone. That is not good, okay, for the human upliftment. And it was under the impact of human rights. So human rights prohibits any kind of torture of human being, okay, even in the animal. I think it was there, animals right is also coming there. Many things are there in our society. This story is very much critical and very much thoughtful. You need to learn this, okay, read this, and try to inculcate a sense of brotherhood, a sense of humanity. You can see in our India, because of the tradition, because of the culture, because of the class, because of the language, because of the religion, we are fighting. And this is the very strange matter for the Japanese, for the Chinese. They don't understand that why Indians are fighting among themselves. I can remind you the sayings of Churchill, the USA, sorry, the English Prime Minister. In British Parliament, he announced, I think, in 1942 or 40. He became prime minister in 1940 to 1945 for 5 years. And there, when they decided to leave India, that in order to unite themselves in Europe, he said that India is very strange, and if we leave them, okay, the goons will start ruling India. And it will be very great loss for all of us, okay, or for the India as well. The world will laugh. And same case happened after the just independence. India was divided, okay, in two parts because of the religion, and two main culprits were came, Jinnah and Mahatma Gandhi. For your kind information, it was not Jinnah, it was not Mahatma Gandhi. They were actually the mask. They were actually the Mohra, and some more others were there who were just giving opinion to just do like that. So we are very culturally very diverse. Or we need to, now the time has come to just think about our progress, about our unity, about our strength, about our upliftment. So narrator has tried to inculcate such kind of feelings, okay, in the mind of students of the world, that humanism is far better. And because of this, more than 15% Australians are not going to believe in any religion. 10% Americans don't believe in any religion. They don't have faith in any religion. They think that humanism is the best religion. The Canadian and the British also. So think about that, when China attacked India. So China is a Buddhist country, and the birthplace of Lord Buddha was India. So think, if they are morally obliged, they should not have attacked. If you think that religion is better, okay, superior, so it is not the religion, okay. Religion is just like a mask. It was the power hungry people, okay, the ambitious people, that they bring religion, okay, before the society, and in order to retain power, they fight for that, okay. And in this way they harm the humanity, okay, humanism, the sense of, they break the brotherhood and fraternity, and they bring some religious conflict. So this we should, in we should delete, reject, remove from our personality, and be a good human being, okay. All the best. God bless you. Thank you very much.